Whereas one competitor has been handed a rather tough hand this season, another is paving the way toward attaining its divisional pot. Brooklyn City Football Club is currently the former in this scenario, being one of two winless teams in the combined Northeast Conference. Their North Division local in this contest is down to an all-or-nothing bet in these last match weeks of the competition, including that of today against Atlantic City FC. Now, with 0 points at the present moment and 3 divisional matches left, highlighted, of course, divisional, one more in-division loss would confirm the Brooklynites' elimination from a postseason cameo. Therefore, this interdivisional match must serve as an urgent momentum changer for the Brooklynites. In the South Division of the Northeast Conference, meanwhile, Atlantic City Football Club may overtake that top-of-the-table spot through a victory down the line. Now, ACFC is currently tied on points for second place and just a single point behind first place. Even though these New Jerseyans have recently kept games close with respect to the scoreline differential, basically being determined by just a single goal each time, that is as of late, the important factor has been their internal drive to emerge almost always victorious in these precarious moments. With the first place spot in the Northeast's South Division on the line for the visitors and a playoff spot in the Northeast's North Division possibly fading away for the locals, this humid Saturday evening is only going to get hotter with the upcoming action as both teams want to start the closing chapter of their campaigns respectively with positivity. Behind the camera is Mert Çerçioğlu. I am Sean Cabrera, and this is the League for Clubs on Game in Frame. Of course, also assisting us today is Nicholas Marshall, so it's always appreciated to have the whole gang right here on Game in Frame. And this broadcast has been brought to you by Umbro. You can head to umbroteam.com to start designing your team kit for free now. Produced by Umbro, designed and worn by you. As all 22 starters make their way toward the center of the field, at least little by little, the referees likewise getting themselves ready, getting their last second stretches. And I mean, at this point, we've seen it in the FIFA World Cup, how referees themselves are also an important element when it comes to fitness. We saw, I believe it was yesterday, I can't remember which match. I mean, there was a handful of them in which the referee had gone down. He had to be replaced within the final 20 minutes, if memory serves me correctly. He got a cramp there in his hamstring. Let's hope for not the same here, rather that we have fit referees who stretch appropriately. But continuing with the players, Brooklyn City FC will be wearing teal tops, dark shorts, I believe black shorts, and black socks. Meanwhile, the visiting Atlantic City FC will be wearing an all-white uniform. Meanwhile, for BCFC, that is Brooklyn City FC, its keeper will be wearing a Volt green or Volt yellow, depending your eyesight there, uniform, whereas the opposing goalkeeper, the visiting netminder, will be wearing an all-orange kit. Now, for Atlantic City Football Club, it will be sporting a 4-5-1 formation. Now, it does like to vary between a 4-5-1 as well as a 4-1-4-1. So we'll see how much variation will be implemented on the pitch today here in Brooklyn College, of course, in New York City, in the eponymous borough of Brooklyn. Meanwhile, for Brooklyn City Football Club, it should be sporting a 4-3-3 formation. And as we have the players aligned, we could also go over the starters themselves. As written here, of course, for Atlantic City Football Club with its 4-5-1 shape, in goal is Shane Merklein with the number 30, or McCline, excuse me, Merklein. Meanwhile, Tyler Wagner will be the left back for ACFC with the number 4 on his jersey. Dylan Petke with the number 27 is the left center half. The right center half is Justin Chekanakio with number 29 on his back. Kenyon Carter is the number 14 playing as the right back. Meanwhile, Aidan Donnelly is the left midfielder with the number 9. Playing as a left center midfielder will be the number 13, Matthew Will. Uchechi Wokocha will be the number 26. Meanwhile, Evan Villaboy will be the right center midfielder. And to complete that quintuplet of midfielders on the right-hand side is Luke McNamee, number 23. And the sole striker in this formation is Daniel Gonzalez with the number 19. Meanwhile, for Brooklyn City Football Club and its 4-3-3 formation, in goal is Harry Thompson. Meanwhile, the left back is George Dickinson with the number 20. The number 5 is also the left center half in this case. It's Nico Sirena. The number 14 is the right center half, Jonathan Granados. The number 22 is the right back, Joaquin Franco. Likewise, the center defensive midfielder here, now it really does depend how they want to implement him. Again, center defensive midfielder can also play a little bit more neutrally in a flat position. Either way, with an important role is Felix Robinson. Playing as the left center midfielder is Konstantin Tikhanovsky, accompanied by Duran Pepic in the midfield to complete that triumvirate. Speaking of trios, of course, with the front line, starting with the left wing, it's Karim Abdel with the number 29. The number 26 is Aliou Ndiaye with the number 26, as we had said, on the right wing. And completing this formation as a striker is Hugo Soriat. And it should be a humid evening here in this part of New York City. As it stands right now, it's 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Not too much wind at this moment, although according to the weather reports, 12-mile-per-hour winds that would be blowing to your right ear at this moment, very faintly, not much if you're sitting right next to us. But yes, 12-mile-per-hour winds accompanied by 21-mile-per-hour gusts. We have yet to really feel them here. It's been quite a hot day here in the capital of the world. And we are not expecting any precipitation throughout this match, so that's a fortunate sign. It was supposed to rain earlier this week. That never really came to fruition. It will rain, however, later this week on Monday, so the humidity may play a factor here, especially when it comes to stamina under such a beaming sun. I mean, there is a reason why in the FIFA World Cup they are taking hydration breaks after all. As for now, one team is certainly ready on the pitch, and that is Brooklyn City Football Club. ACFC is still taking its time adjusting some last-minute tactics. The referees likewise getting everything in order. Now for Brooklyn City FC, we can take a larger look at its campaign so far. It's not really been the ideal one for the home side throughout this entire season. It opened up with a 3-1 loss versus Met Oval. It followed up that performance with a 7-0 shutout loss here in Brooklyn College versus Excelsior New York, who likewise will be playing around the same time. So do keep an eye on that as well, as we'll provide some live reports with respect to that match. And speaking of big losses, Brooklyn City FC would then lose 6-0 to Met Oval again, this time in Staten Island in Wagner College. It started its June with a 2-0 loss versus Kingston Stockade FC. Then once again had to replay the same exact side just last week. However, that one was nowhere near as close as it ended 5-1, a defeat for the Brooklynites. So you could see goal differential certainly not in its favor. It's kept one game relatively close with at least a 2-goal differential, but the rest have featured 4 or more goals in those defeats. So defense will be a factor here, and control in the midfield. Now, yes, you could also argue that there were some zeros on those score lines, but if you want to build from the back, you need to make sure that it's solid there first, and then the rest can cascade later on toward the front, especially as you have overlapping fullbacks with their respective system. And again, just for the sake of the context, if you're just tuning in, this is an interdivisional match. So yes, both of these teams are part of the same conference, that is the Northeast Conference. However, Atlantic City FC is part of the South Division, or subdivision, however you want to see it. Likewise, Brooklyn City FC is part of the North Division. So technically, those two will not affect one another in terms of the standings. It's more of the fact that they have to play one another, A, due to scheduling, and B, just to see if they can maintain any sort of rhythm or build one for that matter, in the sake of Brooklyn City FC. Meanwhile, for Atlantic City FC, we talked about maintaining rhythm. It opened up its campaign with a 3-0 victory versus Monmouth, that New Jerseyan side. Likewise, it was able to find a 5-1 victory in an interdivisional match versus Sousa FC, Sousa of Long Island naturally, 5-1, that result. Then we go back to the divisional matches of the South Division of the Northeast Conference, as Atlantic City FC was able to thwart Real Central New Jersey 2-1. That's how it started off its June. And just a couple days later, in fact 3 days later, it was involved in a 7-goal thriller where it was able to just outlast Kensington SC with a 4-3 result. However, just 3 days ago, now that we're on a June 20th day, on June 17th, Real Central New Jersey was able to hand Atlantic City FC not only its first loss of the season, but the first time that it had been shut out. So again, only a 1-goal differential. Atlantic City FC, as of late, has kept those games close, as we mentioned. We look at Atlantic City FC versus Real Central New Jersey the first time, 1-goal differential there. Kensington SC versus Atlantic City FC, that one also featured a 1-goal differential with that 4-3 scoreline. And most recently, the 1-0 defeat to Real Central New Jersey only featured 1 goal at the end of the day. So naturally for Atlantic City FC, it's looking to take out some of those frustrations from that game in this affair. Whether through a sheer offensive performance and or through a clean defensive execution, which would be shown in the form of a clean sheet itself. Either way, one team is looking to establish a rhythm, the other looking to maintain it. So those have been your, I suppose, profiles, of both of these teams, as we await the refereeing staff to make sure that this game gets underway. Not really unclear as to what the delay could be. Perhaps because of the heat. It is possible there's a heat advisory. Either way, we'll return with action soon here in the League 4 clubs on Game in Frame. And with the near quarter-hour delay now over finally, the refereeing staff, Atlantic City FC and Brooklyn City FC finally make their way onto the field as we await the national anthem soon. Again, Atlantic City was undefeated up until last week, or rather earlier this week, just 3 days ago, versus Real Central New Jersey. Meanwhile, Brooklyn City FC is one of two winless teams in this competition, specifically in this conference. However, that could all change. It looks and sounds like the players, just as much as the supporters here for both teams, are ready for this match to get underway. Again, after that quarter-hour delay, we appreciate your patience due to the unforeseen circumstances. Either way, these players are ready to get the ball rolling. It will be Brooklyn City FC guarding what is, for now, the right-hand side of the pitch. That is from our angle. Meanwhile, Atlantic City FC, likewise in its own huddle, want to discuss some last-minute tactics to animate, of course, those emotions, and to get the adrenaline pumping in that case. Now, depending where Atlantic City FC will be starting this match, which we presume is the left-hand side from our angle, then that means the keeper will have to play with the sun in his eyes, essentially. That could be an additional factor. He would have no refuge whatsoever from Mother Nature, from the shining sun right now. Little to no shade. In reality, only in the right defensive flank of Atlantic City FC, as you can see on your screen. So for now, Atlantic City FC may have to prioritize this first half by controlling the midfield. Meanwhile, Brooklyn City FC should cause as much chaos as possible in that part of the pitch, especially with Mother Nature potentially on their side. As the referee makes sure everything is in order, even he has to shield his eyes from the sun. With the whistle in hand, the referee looks at both keepers. Both confirm that they're ready to go. And you are watching this interdivisional contest from the Leagues for Clubs on Game in Frame. Again, interdivisional match here in the League for Clubs, as that kick ultimately went out for a goal kick itself from the halfway line, trying to imitate what we have seen in the most recent tactics of the sport. No longer is possession prioritized off the initial kickoff. Now a lot of teams, starting first with Paris Saint-Germain, they were practically the inventors of this tactic under Luis Enrique. What they would like to do is they want to pinch the opposition in its own third in an uncomfortable spot, almost nearby its own corner kick flag, That's how you know it's done perfectly. So then they could commit to the high press instantaneously. It determines the rhythm, and in the best case scenario, you win back the ball in the final third. And you can call some mayhem like that. However, Brooklyn City FC, for now, controlling the tempo. The goalkeeper forced to exit his own 6-yard box. He's able to collapse on it. The goalkeeper, of course, being Harry Thompson. It's not the left-hand side with George Dickinson. George Dickinson along the ground. Still down this left-hand side, it's Abdel Dickinson with a good idea. He was eyeing a couple target men, more specifically Hugo Siorat, the gigantic number 12 on your screen. This one's played toward the right-hand side where Ndiaye is waiting. Aliou Ndiaye. Played across. Duran Pepic and Konstantin Tikhanovsky helping one another in that regard. This is with George Dickinson once more. And at the end of the day, it ends up in the gloves of the netminder, Shane Merklein. Play toward the left-hand side. Tyler Wagner was the nearest option. Instead, it goes farther up. Dangerous touch. Back to the goalkeeper. He had to chase after it first. Otherwise, he would have collided with Evan Villaboy. As it's still with Atlantic City FC, just outside the penalty area. A strong challenge standing. Almost crunching at that point. With Ndiaye. Ndiaye down the right wing. He has one pressing him in the form of Matthew Will. And it goes out for a throw-in in favor of the visitors. For now, Brooklyn City FC perhaps giving ACFC a moderate shock here in these opening 3 minutes. Nothing to show on the scoreboard, not even in terms of shots on target or shots attempted. However, it is playing this side with a surprising tempo. Remember, Atlantic City FC has only had 3 days to recover from its loss as the assistant referee lifts the flag for offside. He instantly lifted it. Played forward, it's lost in the midfield. That was a precious area, long distance shot. Wasn't really too close to the mark. Didn't force a scare out of them, but to lose the ball in such a precious spot, well, normally can be lethal. As for now, BCFC and ACFC are still scoreless after the first 4 minutes here. Goal kick for Thompson and company. It's played short, played toward the nearest center half in the form of Jonathan Granados. Played toward the right-hand side, it's intercepted. He telegraphed that pass to Dylan Petke, as he now has to retreat to Granados once again. Granados up top toward Abdel. This is with Dickinson. Dickinson got the penultimate touch. It's a throw-in for Brooklyn City Football Club. As Hugo tells the left back, as well as captain of this side, George Dickinson, to not be afraid to switch the play. As ACFC manages to escape the middle third. It's now in the final third. The assistant referee keeps the flag down. However, the number 9, unable to corral it in time. That was Aiden Donnelly. It's now with Harry Thompson, who once again plays the goal kick short. No early surprises so far, as this one is a left-footed hoof that makes its way into the final third. Abdel wrestling for the ball. Ultimately, it's shielded away by Daniel Gonzalez. Well, he's listed as a striker. You don't expect to see him there, but he does his job regardless. And now for the first time in this match, it's a goal kick for Atlantic City Football Club, as it goes off the foot of Merklein to his left back, or left center half in this case, Dylan Petke. Petke once more telling his teammates to slow down the tempo as Wagner. This one played further up top is with Donnelly. Ball was knocked away, and it's a throw-in for the team wearing all white. All white accompanied by violet details. Brooklyn City FC, as we know, wearing its teal tops, black shorts, and black socks. If not dark gray shorts, dark gray socks. At that point, it's maybe a shade or two off. Free kick for the home side in its own third. It's right-footed. Makes its way past the halfway line. Initially won by Konstantin Tikhanovsky. Goalkeeper able to clear it and able to connect with his striker as well. That's a good pass by Aidan Donnelly as well, using his head. Lost in the middle third, however. And the ball ultimately skips out of play. It's a throw-in for the away side. Remember, Atlantic City FC is playing with the sun in its eyes. That is, as a respective unit. This makes its way all the way back to Thompson, who with his second touch had to play it toward the right-hand side, toward a fullback. A lovely switch play. This is controlled by Abdel. Abdel, some right-footed touches. He has it poked away from him. Wasn't able to fully hook it in. Was never comfortable with that ball. That could be due to the artificial texture of this pitch. Something that is so commonly seen here throughout the North American region, as the assistant referee raises the flag for offside once again, to the dismay of ACFC. But you'd be surprised how artificial turf does in fact change the style of play. It can make a ball skip faster under wet conditions. Of course, here we do have dry conditions, albeit humid ones at the same time, as oxymoronic as that sounds, as Abdel unable to win that aerial duel. But even then, sometimes a ball skip could be unreadable, as this shot is blocked. First one, maybe a second chance for BCFC from outside the penalty area. A left-footed effort that goes over the bar for a goal kick. This one's played toward Petke of Atlantic City FC. The New Jerseyans able to keep it in play for themselves. Ball almost lost in the midfield. Now lost officially, only for it to ping pong right back to the all-white side. Oh, this is certainly the ace in the hole. He gets away. No, not from the keeper, actually. Gets away from the back line. That's a full stretch from the netminder. An astounding smothering from the all-green netminder from Thompson. Atlantic City FC with a golden opportunity, only to be denied by the outstretched arms of Thompson. He did a fantastic job. He may be tested here again, as Donnelly's asking for the pass. He goes wide, and at the end it's intercepted, I believe, by Joaquin Franco. It was nearly a clean-cut breakaway for Atlantic City Football Club. It almost seemed insured at that point, as once again it's with the striker, it's crossed, and it's another big-time save by Thompson. Thompson could be tested here again. No, for now, his defenders do in fact help him out, and it goes from coast to coast, from one keeper to another, essentially. So Thompson now with two big pieces of interference. The first time being able to cut short the dribbling of Donnelly. This time stopping a point-blank squared shot from give or take 2 yards out, maybe even closer. That's how close we're talking about. Thompson for now on the top of his game. Not really the best of passes there from Brooklyn City FC. Practically asking to give the ball away with those sorts of strong passes. Even if you could call it that, it almost looked more like a clearance rather than an intentional pass. Either way, it's with Atlantic City FC. As for now, it escapes its own half through that dribble. Dribble done by Daniel Gonzalez. There's some play toward the right-hand side. Oh, he has space down that right wing. He can cross it. He does, in fact, cross it. He has space. He has the goal. Goal! Brooklyn City FC. As he dances away, finding the opener here in the 12th minute of action. And suddenly, he's found the jackpot against Atlantic City FC. It's a great finish. It's a great pass. Give credit to the cross and the run down the right wing by Njaye. Need a lot of courage and you need a lot of brains. He displayed exactly that. And admittedly, it did take a little bit of luck in favor of Brooklyn City FC due to the fact that a center half had slipped. But even then, to just calmly put it away into that bottom corner, toward the near post, may I add. Well, you need to be able to bet on yourself, and he had the moxie to do it. BCFC in control of the ball, only for a moment, but in control of the scoreboard. Second chance as Dickinson put his body on the line for that challenge. And ACFC is not used to being behind in the scoreline. Contest in the air. Ultimately won by Atlantic City. As he switches the play toward the left-hand side, that could be another runaway for Njaye. Practically the orchestrator of the only goal so far in the first goal in this match, naturally. Njaye shielded away from the ball. That's great defensive work by ACFC. And the favor is returned. And just look at what it means to the team wearing teal. Played toward the right-hand side. As the ball ultimately skips out of play and makes contact with co-producer here, Cercioglu. It's a throw-in for Dickinson and company. George Dickinson, captain's armband on his left arm. And it's now ACFC. Oh, that could be a foul. The referee allowed play to go on. I saw a jersey tug, and that's certainly an infraction. Might have gotten away with one there. Might have gotten away with the booking. There's a very evident jersey tug. Well, each referee has his or her own style. Well, this should be a free kick from about 45 yards out, maybe a little bit closer. As Petke puts this one into the air, it's headed away by Franco. And it's a throw-in yet again for ACFC in the final third. And of course, this isn't shown on camera right now. Although before we expand, it's Brooklyn City FC that can control the ball. The visiting keeper is actively guarding his eyes from the sun. Again, that could be a factor as Hugo chases down that ball only for it to be recovered by the keeper in orange. Who won't be leaving Brooklyn with a clean sheet at least. Now that's a good pass down the right-hand side. He gains himself some space. He beats the captain on that run. He crosses it, but he's saved. Great sliding challenge by Joaquin Franco. to keep the game 1-0 in favor of the local side. And it will be a corner kick for Atlantic City FC. And if I'm not mistaken, that's the first corner kick of this encounter. Here in minute 17 officially. This will likely be a left-footed delivery. In-swinger as well. Back post, and it's blocked. Second chance, likewise blocked. There could be a third one. Maybe third time's a charm. No, it's likewise blocked. Denied thrice by the back line of Brooklyn City FC. Oof, and that one practically absorbed by Hugo at point-blank range. Well, when you stand at such a staggering height, I guess those impacts don't really hit you as hard. As this is played back to the keeper, Merklein. Toward the left-hand side with Petke. Wagner overlapping. That's a good play. Excellent pass, excellent run, excellent communication. Looking for that finish. He's denied once again by Thompson. Thompson required for another two-handed parry. He's just unbeatable for now within these opening 18 minutes. Already with 4 saves to his name officially. Each one almost better than the last. It's as though he wants to upstage himself every time. And if he keeps this up, something tells me that Thompson may be the X factor in this game. And remember, in the second half, he likely won't have to deal with the sun in his eyes, at least not for long. Again, that is the second half. Here in minute 18, this one's crossed and well overshot. Chasing down the ball, trying to keep it in play. I believe that was Wagner. He's unable to do so. Well, this does not resemble at all for now the same Brooklyn City FC that had just conceded 5 just a week ago. Doesn't at all resemble the same side. Yes, you could always argue that stamina is a factor, that they've had a week to rest, sure, but they still had conceded 5-1 at that point. Meanwhile, this is a visiting side that had only lost 1-0 to Real Central New Jersey, and is right now tied on points for second place in the South Division of the Northeast Conference. Not to mention that it's just 1 point behind first place at this moment. So it's not really going the way of ACFC. And we'll see if this set piece can end in anything, as Thompson gets himself ready to intercept what could be a potential cross. He has a one-man wall. That singular player, so we try to look at that jersey number. He inched a little bit closer. No foul, says the referee. In charge of the counterattack. One step over, maybe too many. No, he gets the touch in time. Left-footed pass. This is to Njaye. Njaye, oh, he was offside. He was offside. Assistant referee got that one right. He's upset, understandably, but the assistant referee had it completely right there, even down to the replay. He was reading the opposition half, if I'm not mistaken. And this is with Thompson. And after 20 minutes officially, it's still Brooklyn City FC that has the advantage of 1 goal. Again, yes, there was a little bit of luck in that goal with the defender slipping, but the fact that Njaye saw the run down the right-hand side, saw the space, decided to gamble on himself, was successful in that, was able to pinpoint a target, who then reconnected with another forward. Well, at that point, it's not coincidence. It's just great play. Yes, with the sprinkling of a defender slipping, but still, a great play. Speaking of which, here's one for Atlantic City FC into the hands of Harry Thompson. impervious inside his box for now. Required for several point-blank stops, as well as a long-distance strike earlier, as this one likewise goes to the keeper in orange, Merklein. He plays it forward, and he's being chased down. He's being hounded by Abdel. Goalkeeper escapes his box, and he turns himself into a sweeper. And look at that. Just look at what it means to him with that celebration. A mild one right above his opponent. Not every day you get to see that. It was practically a standing challenge, though. He completed the motion, sliding inward. Harry Thompson, again, making a case for himself here in minute 22. It's taken away by BCFC. Referee says no foul. Equal shoving from both of them. And now he's eventually double pressed. Dickinson has his pass interrupted. That should be a throw-in for BCFC, at least to my eye, but the referee says otherwise. It's Atlantic City FC's ball. It's currently with Daniel Gonzalez, number 19, as it hops out of play. Here in the 23rd minute officially, and if this were the FIFA World Cup, there would have been a hydration break by now. And to each their own in that regard, but with respect to the hydration break, some have accused it of killing inertia for some teams and some players. As he's onside, he crosses it toward the near post, and he's easily denied. Hugo, great control with the torso. Strong touch with the right foot. He retreats all the way back to Thompson. So again, going back to that point of hydration breaks about how it sometimes kills momentum for some teams, I'm inclined to agree with it. It's also a time for players and the manager, of course, to discuss the strategy. Am I the biggest fan? Not necessarily, although it's a topic we'll expand upon later, as Ndiaye, down the right wing, chops it inward, and he just lays it over toward the initial goal scorer. It's crossed. Hugo was the target, but at the end, Atlantic City FC does just enough to prevent a second conceded goal. Again, do I think that there should be hydration breaks? Well, absolutely. They're players after all. It's only biological that you should get a hydration break, but to make it 3 minutes long, that's the question I'm asking. That's really what makes me not be a big fan of it, because that is really what kills rhythm, what kills momentum, as this one's played back to Thompson. He decides to lob it, and that's an excellent pass into empty space, although he couldn't get it down with the first touch, Abdel. Temporarily with the number 7 of Atlantic City FC, he crosses it, and it's picked away. Ndiaye, with space, with time. Hugo would have been offside anyway. Had he stayed in his own half, he would have been onside. Either way, it rolled out of bounds. So going back to the point of the hydration breaks, the fact that it's 3 minutes long, I'm not the biggest fan of that. Now, if it were a minute or 90 seconds long, I would find that reasonable to find yourself hydrated, principally, of course. And in fact, I believe that's what we're seeing right here. Again, if we were to keep track officially, I doubt it would go over 3 minutes. A 1 minute to maybe 90-second hydration break, reasonable. Not enough time to really go over that much tactics. 3 minutes though, you could do a lot, surprisingly, for better or for worse. However, now that we do find ourselves in the break and past the halfway point of this first half, I'd like to remind you that with the upcoming halftime break, we will have the latest Save of the Month candidates, so do make sure to stay tuned during halftime here in this affair. Again, the latest Save of the Month candidates will be shown then. And speaking of Save of the Months, I think we've already seen a couple future ones on behalf of Harry Thompson. Again, for now proving to be the star of the match, it's really between him and Ndiaye on the right wing. Ndiaye has been relentless and pace-filled on that right-hand side. I believe he will be well, this is an unofficial stat, I suppose, but he would be given that unofficial stat of the pre-assist leading to that build-up. And also, as you could see, that break did not take longer than 3 minutes. It took, in fact, just about a minute. Just saying. But going back to Ndiaye, a fantastic engine he is really to this offense. At least in this fixture, where the locals have a 1-0 advantage over the New Jerseyans. However, we cannot deny the fact that Thompson has kept this team alive, let alone with the lead, on now various occasions. We'll see the official count later, but to mine, I'm going to say at least 4-5. Again, he had to break Donnelly's run. Technically not a save. It'd go down as a takeaway due to it not being a shot itself, but that was a big time stretch he had to do, not to mention the save point blank at his near post. And speaking of Thompson, he's able to recover. He might have gotten tripped by his opponent. Yeah, he's asking for it. He is asking for the foul to be given as he drops it to his own 2 feet. Oh, and Donnelly doesn't even press him. And you could see Thompson politely requesting the referee to keep an eye on that he's been physically contested there in his own box. And I would say he has quite the exhibit of evidence right there, at least for now. He was required for that outside the box shot that required him to go full stretch. Yeah, that's another shove in the back. Drawing the foul was George Dickinson, the left back and captain of this squad. And Brooklyn City FC not too used to being up in the scoreline. Likewise, Atlantic City FC not too used to being behind in the scoreline. But anything can happen on any given day here in the league for clubs, as that ball eventually goes out of play. This one to be taken by Abdel. Or so we thought. Dickinson back on duty. And we talked about the artificial pitch, how that can affect the playing conditions. Sometimes it can even affect you physically. It's another point we'll get to, as we see Dickinson's knee bleeding, really thanks to the rough texture. Outside part of the foot pass. He's offside anyway. He doesn't realize it, Donnelly. That assistant referee has been kept quite busy. That's now 3 offside calls, all against Donnelly. He has a hat trick worth of those decisions. No, I know I was going on that tangent earlier about the hydration breaks, but that doesn't mean I don't like any of the other rule changes. For example, I do like the rule change with respect to the goal kicks. If you're taking too long, it turns into a corner kick. I actually really like that rule change. It promotes an offensive style of the sport itself. And also, it cuts down on gamesmanship. The same could be said for those throw-ins, where you're given an allotted amount of time, eventually before the referee starts that 5-second countdown. And speaking of gamesmanship, when a player is down on the ground for a certain amount of time, they have to be off the pitch for a minute. Again, I'm actually a fan of that. It cuts down time wasting. That's more about gamesmanship than it is about sportsmanship, or simply about skill. As yet again, another offside call. I don't believe this time it's against Donnelly, though he's still talking with the referee, so I believe it might have been issued against him. That's 4 then against Donnelly. This one defended well by the back line of Atlantic City FC, making sure Abdel doesn't get a piece. Through pass into the air. Intercepted temporarily. Thompson may be required to his near post here, as he's able to gain himself some time. This is toward Donnelly once more. Donnelly 1 step over. Left-footed shot right into the hands of Thompson. He had to control the rebound. Now that's a rock-solid ball. It bounced off my right foot earlier, as this one is a sky-high punt. That crosses the touchline on the opposite side of our viewing. Also, with respect to the players going down, as Thompson, ooh, he collided into his own teammate. He collided into Dickinson. Oh, that's an ugly, ugly sight. Well, as a goalkeeper, he did what he had to do. He had to protect himself with that elevated knee. He anticipated Donnelly going into his path, but instead it's his own defender and captain George Dickinson that takes the blow. I think he might have gotten the wind knocked out of him. Likewise, Thompson asking for his left leg to receive a stretching. It's just one of those instances of the sport. Goalkeeper did the exact right thing protecting himself. Dickinson just happened to be in his path. Took that blow straight to the chest, as if he didn't have enough going for him already with all those tackles, not to mention his bleeding left knee. As action resumes here, fortunately, nothing too severe. This one played centrally, as Felix Robinson gets himself involved. Down the right-hand side, Njaye. Njaye with Hugo. Hugo, ooh. Not the cleanest of tackles, though no time is wasted. Didn't really look too innocent, that challenge. As we're under a quarter hour away from the halftime whistle here, Brooklyn City Football Club looking to enter that pause in action with at least a 1-goal advantage. We haven't really seen any Brooklynite shot since then, as Donnelly offside. He was offside a while ago. Again, to my count, that's 5. Eventually, he's going to time one of these runs correctly. And that's something that the backline of Brooklyn City FC has to take into account. It will eventually happen. He's getting himself in the right space. It's just the timing that's off for Donnelly right now. Njaye. Oh, he's just saucy, but he ends up losing it. A little too nifty for his own good. This one's played toward the center half. Now on the right-hand side it goes, with the number 29 with Justin Cecanecchio. Cecanecchio for now quite open on that right wing. All it takes is one really good lob through pass. He would have to contest with Dickinson, admittedly, but with reinforcement in the form of Donnelly, we could see some deadly connections between those two. That being said, however, we have to give credit to the back line of George Dickinson, Nico Sirena, Jonathan Granados, and Joaquin Franco, who have done a fabulous job, first class. This is with Justin Cecanecchio. He's able to cut it with the right foot. George Dickinson got a temporary poke. Not the biggest. He slips. And a foul is given. Contact from Nico Sirena that causes his opponent to trip and slip. He received the tripping, again, to make it clear, from Sirena, slipped over the ball in that motion. And this will certainly be the most dangerous set piece of the first half, as Thompson assembles a 4-man wall. Now, what I love about the angle that we have is that we get to see exactly the space that's being granted by Thompson in that 4-man wall. With nobody underneath, by the way. This could also be crossed, it depends. This one, oof, going for the near post's upper 90, and quite close to it as well. It's crashing down with a lot of velocity. Thompson, for now, keeps the clean sheet here in minute 36. As Sirena takes his time before ejecting that ball from his own 18-yard box. Hugo unable to win the aerial duel. This one ends up with the opposite goalkeeper. It's given away. Hugo can make it 2-0. Hugo punishes the keeper. Goal! Brooklyn City FC makes it 2-0. He capitalizes on the error. You rarely want to play it down the middle. It's unlucky. But Hugo simply just had to do his job as a striker. A true number 9's finish. It's 2-0 for Brooklyn City FC. And for the first time this season, Brooklyn City FC has scored multiple goals in a single match. And in related league news here in the League 4 clubs, Met Oval currently has the 1-0 advantage in the 20th minute over Excelsior. Here in minute 38, it's cleared away. Again, unlucky. When you're a keeper, you never want to play it down the middle. You never want to clear it down the middle. You want to go toward the sidelines. He didn't make contact cleanly with that ball. And as a result, all that Hugo had to do was just reinforce that punishment. This one, in swinger, back post, cleared away. And this should be a throw-in for Atlantic City FC, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, and Dickinson gets the first yellow card of this match, likely for dissent. It's a silly yellow card, as Dickinson pleads his case that he hadn't done anything. Well, at least from our standpoint, physical standpoint that is, it was hard to hear him say anything that provoked the booking in the first place. And this is a long throw-in toward the near post. And it's a goal kick for Thompson, who celebrates the occasion. Brooklyn City FC, for the first time this season, with 2 or more goals to its name in a single match. And also update, Met Oval has now made it 2-0 versus Excelsior. Unless it's otherwise overridden. Though I'm not hearing about a conclave of referees, so it'll stand for now. Early cross. Oh, great touch. He beats the keeper. Thompson can't keep the clean sheet. It's a great initial touch. Shooting with the opposite foot as well. And suddenly it's game on here with just a little over 5 minutes left before the halftime break. That is a sublime finish. An excellent piece of control. And Atlantic City FC cuts down that deficit. It's 2-1. It wasn't Donnelly this time who scored, but we did talk about the risky style of the back line. To its credit, it got at least 7 offside calls in its favor. But again, it's a high-risk, high-reward system. And that's poked away. Should be a throw-in for Atlantic City FC. Just scored a fabulous goal. Well, suddenly we've gotten reports of, if my count is correct, 5 goals now in the past 2 minutes with this match as well as the other matches combined, as Njaye goes down. Should be a corner kick. It is a corner kick. The first of its kind for the local side. Now that the sun is gradually beginning to set, This one to be crossed, an in-swinger. Heads up with the back post. Oh, it had to be tipped. Looking for that Olympic goal. I'm not really sure he went for the shot itself, but the fact that it required a goalkeeping intervention is nothing short of extraordinary in that regard. I mean, to be fair, you have the target man of Hugo himself, as well as Abdel on that far side. But this is where the goalkeeper has to look for some redemption following the second conceded goal. As Njaya this time, in charge of the set piece toward the near post. It's booted up high, but not away. Not the cleanest of headers. Njaya makes sure he's onside. He chops away from one. Second touch is just enough. Far post, Abdel. Oh, and that one goes sky high. It almost left the venue. Here in Brooklyn College, home of the Bulldogs. Early cross. And he turns it into an extra pass in reality. It's not the contact you really want as a center back. And he's gifted a corner kick at the end. We are 2.5 minutes away from the halftime break, excluding stoppage time, which if there had to be some aggregated here, I guess it would be 2 minutes at a minimum. Maybe 1 minute at a minimum. That's the important thing to take into account with stoppage time. It happened, in fact, yesterday in the FIFA World Cup. Before we expand upon that, this long throw makes its way into the 6-yard box. It's cleared away. Not out of the woods yet, however. Left-footed cross this time. And even though the aerial duel is won by ACFC, it goes over the bar. It was in yesterday's match, if I recall correctly, between Turkey and Paraguay, in which the minimum stoppage time was well exceeded. But again, that's why I emphasize minimum. So if it says that 6 minutes will be played of stoppage time, that doesn't necessarily mean there will be exactly 6 minutes. It's just a minimum of that. Of course, there was that controversy with Almiron covering his mouth. And if memory serves me correctly, or if my facts are correct, I think that's the first time in World Cup history that a player has now been expelled from a game due to that new rule of covering his or her mouth, all in the efforts of preventing discrimination in the game. Of course, I bring that all up because even though there was about 6 minutes of stoppage time aggregated, it went to the 10th, if I remember correctly. Again, with so many matches now, with more than 100 to remember for the near future, I would hope that you, the folks at home, could forgive me for not remembering every single minute detail. I mean, I still expect to be held to that standard, just as it was shown here by Duran Pepic with a crunching tackle, prodding it away, using that extended leg of his like a pitchfork. As Duran Pepic once more toward Njaya. Njaya. Another good challenge. I think this time that's Nico Sirena. If not, Felix Robinson. A little tough to tell with the numbers here. This is Harry Thompson. Even though he has conceded 1 goal, he has been unbelievable in this game. He has been at the top of his game, maybe required here. Once again, turning himself into a sweeper. And we are in stoppage time here in the first half. None has been indicated as to the minimum. My assumption is 1 to 2 minutes. That's a minimum. Hugo on the breakaway. Hugo has one center back to beat. That center back ultimately chases it just in time before the goalkeeper is forced to clear it out. Learning his lesson from the earlier mistake, clearing it toward the sideline rather than down the middle. It happens to the best. thrown to be taken now for Atlantic City FC. So we have received word that there's a minimum of 3 minutes of stoppage time here in the first half. It's almost as though they themselves did take a hydration break per the FIFA World Cup rules. Breakaway, he's onside down that left wing. Now the question is, will he decelerate? Will he cut in? He goes with the latter option. He hasn't lined up for the shot yet. Now he does, and into the gloves of Thompson. Well, Thompson is inching closer and closer to the double-digit tally of saves. And he's got at least 5 to his name. I'm inclined to say he has 6. Certainly a star of the game. Hugo, able to pinpoint Felix Robinson amidst the high traffic in that middle third. This one taken away by the keeper in all orange. So Duran Pepic had scored the opener. Hugo had scored the second goal for BCFC, who at one point had a 2-0 lead. However, ACFC responded excellently just minutes later, and almost reminded me just a little bit of Messi's goal versus Nigeria in 2018. And you know exactly which goal I'm talking about. Good tackle, although not clean enough. The referee says no foul. Dickinson goes down. Now, to be quite honest, I'm afraid I don't agree with this assessment. I don't think it was a foul drawn by Dickinson. I thought play should have gone on. Both players went at it 50-50. Dickinson just happened to lose his balance in that circumstance. It was clean shoulder to shoulder in my eyes. Duran Pepic, left-hand side, he has Abdel. Abdel will be looking at Hugo. He will be the target man, especially with that height. How can you not? As Abdel outsmarts one, but not the second. Not too much time left here in this first half. Remember, there was a minimum of 3 minutes to be added on to this first period. Dickinson is in no rush, however. For now, there are 5 teal jerseys on the edge of the box. Njaye almost got to it. And that is the final touch of the ball here in the first half, where Brooklyn City FC, the local side, has the 2-1 advantage over Atlantic City FC. However, as I had told you earlier, do stay tuned for the halftime break to make sure that you catch the latest Save of the Month candidates. We'll have that right up for you shortly. Again, you are watching the League for Clubs right here on Game in Frame.
Away from Del Pozo, St. Bill, first time cross in, McGregor header! What a save by Granados on the reaction! Got it with the right glove, good direction from McGregor, better save from Granados.
Shot was there for Excelsior, and there it is again. That did to Stefano. He got a touch on that ball. Great reflexes there from the goalkeeper.
Away, Gotti. Shooting from long range, Bejarano at full stretch rebound. He got a tip as well. Great diving save from Bejarano. He got it with his left paw.
Larkin still with it, gets around Juan Larkin with a cross. Larkin finds a man, and a beautiful save by Edwards.
Chance here. Here's Barone with the ball into the middle, and Emmanuel with a shot and save by the goalkeeper. What a great stretch to cover that goal.
But he plays it in. A dangerous one. Still live here in the box. And eventually saved there by Stefanovic. Stefanovic makes the crucial save. finds another.
Ball, rise and fall. A diving effort, Papinga denies it once more.
It's sizzling with pace. Duga Dembele onto his left foot. Dembele tipped round the post by Choi. One into the other in the blink of an eye by Osners. And that might have just been cutting in to the top corner.
Berg right into the middle. Now a chance. Zuma doesn't get all of it, and sprawling there for the glove save in goal. And now Union able to gain back possession. Vieira takes a shot. Brilliant save from Goodwill. Sends it over the crossbar, and now a corner kick for Union SC.
We'll see if Surf can break through with the attack here. What a save. Excellent work from the Dust goalkeeper, O'Sullivan.
Etienne helped set up the first goal. Etienne, goal line. They got another cutback. Orozco, a great save, getting a cross, and a second, 3 times. This one's blocked. Great defense inside the 6-yard box by Warriors to keep it 1-0. 2 saves there by Orozco, and then a block as well from his back line.
Fun. Crosses it in. And the header comes in, and it's saved. Wow, what a miraculous save there. For the goalkeeper to get down, going the opposite direction, stick a hand out, keep that one out the back of the net.
Fight on through. Harkins was, and that will go back. And a diving effort from Grace Keane. Will parry that wide.
Rather deep, picking the ball up. Bonse's peeled off of his defender. He's onside. First time shot. The keeper had to get a touch on it. What a fingertip save. Eric Warnowski.
Still on, shotgun coming, stops, Butler misses that opportunity.
From soccer fields across the USA to the legendary stadiums of Spain and Portugal, for 40 years, Petrobax has been the go-to expert for group travel to Spain and Portugal. We organize soccer group trips from start to finish, flights, hotels, transportation, and guided tours, all perfectly coordinated by our experienced team. Your trip can include attending La Liga and Portuguese Primeira Liga games, matches against local teams, pro training sessions, and even tournaments. As true experts in Spain and Portugal, we'll ensure you also experience the rich history, vibrant culture, and incredible food these countries are famous for. Celebrating 40 years of crafting unforgettable journeys to Spain and Portugal. Petrobax, your team, your passion, your trip to Spain and Portugal starts here.
My name is Austin Brummett. I'm a men's soccer player at San Diego State University, and I play forward. The Salt Air Case helps block odor from my cleats when I'm driving in my car or when I'm keeping my cleats inside my house, so I don't have to worry about it stinking up my room. It helps me keep track of my cleats and my shin guards, so I know that they're together. I don't have to worry about tracking them down or losing them or stressing out about where they are. I would definitely rock this, walking to the games, walking around to my trainings. And it's super helpful for travel. When I travel in the airport to go to away games, it's not gonna stink up my backpack or stink up the plane where I'm sitting. Magnetic strip on the top is super easy to open to take my cleats out and to put my cleats back in. I think it's an essential part of my outfit for soccer, and it helps keep all my stuff organized and stink-free.
A quality highlight reel is crucial for college and pro recruitment. A lot of services offer generic solutions, but at Game & Frame we know every player is unique and needs a personalised approach to win over coaches. Our process is simple. We work with any footage, and if you need help finding your best plays, we'll review games for you. Once we've finished, you'll have a reel you can upload to any recruitment platform. We've helped hundreds of players get the attention they deserve, including placements in Division 1 programs. Scan the QR code or email us for a free consultation and start the journey to maximize your recruitment potential.
So of course you had just finished watching the latest Save of the Month candidates. However, if you weren't able to catch it in time, don't worry, because what you can do is go to Game in Frame on Instagram at Game in Frame, find that relevant post, and make sure that you not only watch it, but also comment which save deserves to be that Save of the Month for May 2026. Make sure you get that comment in before tomorrow, June 21st, 11:59 p.m. So you have a little more than 24 hours to get a view and to get your vote in. But do so now, as the winner will receive a Salt Athletic Goalkeeper Glove Bag. Again, go to Game and Frame on Instagram and check out the Save of the Month candidates once more and comment. Likewise, this won't be the only piece of Game and Frame action this weekend, because tomorrow at 5 p.m., the United Premier Soccer League Premier Division sees a semifinal bout in the American South Conference between New Jersey Alliance and Philadelphia Lone Star. And speaking of playoffs, also at 5 p.m., the American Premier Soccer League sees a Delaware River Conference relegation playoff showdown that will determine the survival of Medford Strikers FC and Persepolis United FC. On June 24th, American Soccer Club New York and New York Cosmos partake in an exhibition match at 7 p.m. Likewise, on June 24th, Brooklyn City FC's journey in the League for Clubs continues as it is scheduled to face Sousa FC at 7:30 p.m. All these matches will be broadcast right here on Game in Frame, your home for grassroots soccer. Again, accompanying me here are Nicholas Marshall, as well as Mert Churchioglu. I am Sean Cabrera. It's always a pleasure to be here with you. This is the League for Clubs on Game in Frame, and it's the local side Brooklyn City FC that has the 2-1 advantage over Atlantic City FC. For now, Brooklyn City FC has not had a lot of chances at goal. That being said, it has capitalized on every single opportunity that has been handed to them. Now, that is something that Atlantic City FC has not really been able to do. One, because the back line has been playing quite solidly, but two, because the back line is playing with quite a high system. Now, there's always a risk for that. For now, it has been near impervious, it's been near perfect. There have been at least 5 offside calls against Atlantic City, specifically against one player, but even then, you let by slip one opportunity, and suddenly it's 2-2, suddenly it's 3-2. So for your halftime analysis here, one thing is for certain, and that's for the back line to just play a little more attentively. Yes, the offside trap has been working for now, but they have to keep an eye on those runs, especially with those balls in the air. That's exactly how BCFC had conceded its only goal of the match for now. As he's onside, he runs away, keeper able to clear it in time. Again, Brooklyn City FC defending this left-hand side that you're seeing. That is to our viewing. As for now, we are getting word that there has been a change, at least for Atlantic City FC. For now, it appears that there are no goalkeeping changes for Brooklyn City FC. So Harry Thompson still in goal, as far as we know. Either way, the goalkeeping performance was nothing short of magnificent in the first half. Every type of save imaginable, from snuffing it out to stopping a point-blank shot, full stretch. Hugo is able to squeeze past 2. He bides his time, one step over, left-footed pass, and it's swiftly blocked. The sun has set, so no goalkeeper will be blinded by the beaming sun for now. It's also gotten a little bit cooler, noticeably. Even though it says 77 degrees Fahrenheit here, according to the latest weather reports, it feels a little cooler than that. And even though we were supposed to see extreme winds in this match, I can't really say we've experienced them at all in this affair. Maybe the occasional refreshing gust of winds, but anything game-changing? No, we haven't seen at all. That's not to say that weather reports were wrong. It's just surprising we really haven't felt it at all. It's been brisk, it's been nice, for the most part. As here comes Abdel. Abdel has Ndiaye on the right-hand side. He has Duran Pepic. Duran Pepic trying to feed it right back into the centralized space of the penalty area. It's intercepted and steered away by Atlantic City FC. Left-footed lob. And now Joaquin Franco can take his time with this throw-in. Franco. Njaye. Contested there. Not the best first touch from Njaye, who has otherwise also been fantastic in this game. In the first half, has certainly shown his capacity for creativity, especially with respect to his dribbling game. Here comes Petke. Petke lobbed into the air. And it's defended, guarded well by Nico Sirena. It's currently at the feet of Felix Robinson. Felix Robinson. Abdel. Abdel has two. He's sandwiched. It's a throw-in for Brooklyn City FC. This one goes up into the air. Oof, that should be a handball. That should have been a handball. The hand was in an unnatural position. Might have gotten away with one there. The referee decided to show mercy. I suppose there was an intent to play the ball initially with your own feet. But we've seen that time and time again being punished. A left-footed through pass. He controls it with the hip. He has space as well. Pauses, shoots, left-footed, second chance header, denied for now. And it's still 2-1 for Brooklyn City FC. We talked about the high back line. We almost saw them caught out there. Now he shoved off the ball. It's a clean challenge. Speaking of clean challenges, smooth takeaway there. Giving credit there to Uchechi Wakocha. Hugo. Outpaced for now by the defender. Hugo re-wins it. Hugo! Brace! Goal! He has a brace. Hugo capitalizes again. Brooklyn City Football Club once again capitalizes. Every single time, that front line has been there to punish every minute mistake. Just when it looked like the center half for Atlantic City FC had won it cleanly, had dominated the ball cleanly, suddenly it's Hugo that pickpockets his opponent and picks his pocket in the back of the net. Well, for those at home who know about pool, at least appreciated that analogy to a degree. But it really is spectacular that now Brooklyn City FC has a 3-1 lead. It's not an expected result, to say the least. There's still a lot of action to be played, though, about 40 minutes. So not exactly out of the woods yet, especially with that sort of mistake in the middle third. Lobbed pass, and it's controlled nicely by Jonathan Granados. Has been a very busy name in that first half. Aggressive drive. Again, we cannot deny the fact that for now, I almost want to argue that all the goals have come from defensive errors. But Brooklyn City FC just knows how to punish. Oh, and that's a case of the turf monster. That's why we talk about the artificial surface. It's rough. It can be a little inconsistent. Just unfortunate there. So that's great by Hugo. And he has a brace. Both from similar situations. That ball is still in play somehow. Or so we thought. Well, now there's confusion. The assistant referee says that the ball had not left the field of play until where Petke is standing. Petke, dangerous touch, no foul, or so we thought. We did hear the crashing of shin guards there. as the ball never fully paused. And now it has to be placed in the right spot. Well, now Atlantic City FC needs to play with not only discipline defensively, but also with composure offensively. It's 75 degrees Fahrenheit here, by the way, as the pink clouds paint a nice canvas here in Brooklyn, New York. A long distance early cross, one good touch, and Thompson denies again. It's just good goalkeeping. What more can you say? His positioning has been phenomenal. And I have to admit, I am a sucker for fantastic goalkeeping performances. Yes, speaking from my amateur standpoint, admittedly. But come on, he has been top-notch. Top-notch. That also says that the front line of Atlantic City FC has also been first class. It just hasn't been able to find the back of the net. Switching the play. Good touch with the left foot. Right-footed shot. Straight into the hands of the keeper. Oh, certainly by now he's in the double digits, I imagine. Surely now. Felix Robinson asking for a foul. The referee declines. Right-footed. This should be for Thompson, and it's an uncomfortable clearance for Granados to keep it a 3-1 game. And this could be exactly what Brooklyn City FC needed in the first place. Again, one of two winless teams in the Northeast Conference. The Teal team is just under 40 minutes away from that. That is from changing that, I should say. As there was a substitution in effect. Meanwhile, this could be a mental hump for Atlantic City FC to overcome if this result were to stand. That would be 2 consecutive defeats in spite of a great first half of the season. A smart interception. Playing it down the middle in that middle third. Petke, the touch was too strong. He never really had a viable left wing there as Thompson asks for an opponent to press him so he could finally pick up the ball with his gloves. See, now that is clean time wasting. Unlike just simply falling down, claiming you're injured when you're not. I'd also argue it helps save the reputation of the sport itself. No more divers, no more time wasting. That leg was extended, it was kept out there. No foul, says the referee though. Petke. He had chopped it inward, that's why it's a foul. You can't really contest or argue with that one. Because he had chopped it inward last second, he had baited his opponent into essentially swinging that leg. And as a result, it's a set piece for Atlantic City FC. It's a good arbitrational decision there. So once again, the question is, will Atlantic City FC try to place this one on target, or will it hope for a whipped-in cross from this sort of angle? It's a 2-man wall. It is from quite a distance, so to really put this one to the upper corner, it will require something extraordinary. It's a good cross, and it goes up high in the air and over the bar. Thompson collides into the post. And Thompson's now down on the ground. He's probably just catching his breath at this point. Although the referee, he walked over toward the referee, toward the coaching staff, excuse me. And it's a yellow card. All for dissent. And if you ask me, I don't think it was really worthwhile tensions are undoubtedly high with BCFC's first victory just a little over a half hour away. That should be Thompson's ball. He hops just in time to reach the ball while it's at its highest arc or highest point. Joaquim. Franco was eyeing Njaye, and Njaye takes the throw in. Petke argues otherwise. Njaye feeds back the ball. A good piece of interference from the midfielder. Here comes Atlantic City FC. He cuts it inward. He could take a shot if he wants to. He was never really able to get a curler though. Instead of hitting the sweet spot of the ball with the inner part of your metatarsal to get that curling motion, he instead just hooved it upward. Again, you almost kind of want to side swipe the ball. We want to go for that curler. That's what many were expecting here as his dribble was cutting inward. Just wasn't able to replicate that same action with his shot. As now the goalkeeper can do whatever he likes with the ball. Eventually he picks it up and puts it right back into play with that right-footed clearance. Good takeaway by Granados. Granados and Joaquim Franco, great chemistry between those two. He's offside, Hugo. Oh, he was already daydreaming about the hat trick. Oh, Hugo's not really complaining. If anything, he almost has a smile on his face. It's as though he knows or feels that the hat trick is coming. Left-footed control, one step over, right-footed pass down that left-hand side. One step over again. Joaquim Franco, unbeatable. Franco to Njaye. Njaye. Oh, he was able to slither past. Well, past one, but not the second. As Konstantin Tikhonovsky. Konstantin able to get that pass just in time. 1-2 connection, interrupted. Petke. Where's the captain's armband? Atlantic City FC. We haven't really seen too many outside the box shots, except for this one. Thompson got the initial save. Rebound is loose. Now the referee has to blow a whistle for that. When the shot was taken, I believe that player was offside in the first place. At least according to the motion I had seen from the far side assistant referee. Now Thompson just needs his leg stretched. Now, interestingly, we brought up FIFA, of course, and the World Cup rules. We talked about time wasting. Weirdly enough, the one exception to that rule are the goalkeepers. So I'm not saying that goalkeepers should just fall down and waste time. Please, I am not an advocate for that. I'm merely just stating that the goalkeeper is the only player that cannot be off the field, of course, for a minute, because you always need a keeper. I mean, it goes really without saying. So now people are theorizing that there will be such a thing as a goalkeeper timeout. Again, it's an ongoing sportive theory, I suppose. I would really hope that wouldn't be the case. And for the record, Thompson there did get a piece of his opponent's cleat dug right into him, into that leg of his, after the initial save. Again, most likely in the double digits at this point. Good interception by Franco. Franco, Njaye, up into the air. Hugo can't chase it down. Well, he was able to beat that center back once. Here comes Pepic. Pepic was responsible for the first goal. Hugo can get the hat trick here. Hugo, right-footed shot. I don't think it took a piece from the opponent. He just blasted it over. And I think for the first time in this game, Hugo has a shot that does not end up in the back of the net. It might have been just his third shot of the game. He had a 2-for-2 perfect ratio. So we're past the hour mark. 63rd minute, about to be 64th officially. That should be Thompson's ball. And all he has to do is just shield it away. And even Njai loves to see that. This is a good team when it comes to that brotherhood. This is Atlantic City FC that's in control. And the arm being dragged back is what resulted in that foul call. So it's a free kick. Skewed a lot toward the right-hand side. It's from about, oh, it's a lot closer than we thought, perhaps. I'd say maybe 38 yards out. As there's a two-man wall assembled by Thompson. Left-footed, as you would expect, up into the air it goes. Njai. This one along the ground. Cleared once again, Njai. Now in the driver's seat. He can pause, he can turn. Oh, he steered away from one. He didn't take into account the second defender, though he indirectly wins the throw-in. It's still 3-1 here in minute 65 with substitution. Also update here in the league for clubs as Met Oval still leading, but its lead has now been shrunk down to 2-1. It was leading 2-0 earlier against Excelsior. It's now 2-1. And once again, it's a defensive error in the middle third for Atlantic City FC. We mentioned how that will be a key to the game during the pregame introduction. It's being shown here. Maybe a defensive error to capitalize. ACFC, no, it's poked away. Granados with a clean poke. Felix Robinson. Push from behind. He draws the foul. Oh, so we thought. Goes the opposite way. I believe he had touched the ball with his hand upon contact of the fall. Ugh, that one could also be a foul. I must say, tough day to be a referee. Tough day to be a keeper as well, as he's able to parry it away. Two-handed stretch. Can anything on this planet beat Thompson? A torpedo from the edge of the box. He's able to ward it off. Right-footed, back post. I'm not sure if he got a piece on the ball. Fortunately for us, the ball's still in play, so that will remain a mystery. And I won't have to speculate whether that would have been a corner kick or not. Although now this one is signaled as a corner kick. Wasting no time, corner kick taken quickly. Thompson missed the catch, but he had his defender to help him out. Oh no, Thompson's down on the ground. Oh no. Oh, the referee has to pause if there's a goalkeeper on the ground. It was definitely the landing. Nobody had made contact with the bright green keeper, as there's a yellow card issued to an ACFC member. And no one had touched the goalkeeper. It was about the landing itself. Although it is unclear what body part he had injured in that circumstance, whether that's his leg or his arm. All we can hope is that that isn't the case, because with a performance like this, he deserves to see it through and through the entire 90 minutes. He's eventually helped up onto his 2 feet. So nothing serious. Here in minute 69. Throw-in, launched, near post, headed up high, once more headed up high. Contest in the air for the ball, won by Thompson. And now the counterattack is in motion, although impeded, or so we thought. Here comes Brooklyn City FC. Down the middle, Hugo, he's onside. Hugo can get his hat trick. Hugo denied by the goalkeeper. Excellent stop by the orange keeper. Making sure to close down the angles with that starfish block. Most importantly, he closed the gap, what you would call in hockey the 5-hole, I suppose, that space right between his legs, underneath him, closed it with the inner part of his knee. Again, a lot harder than it seems, all whilst sliding. It's a good goalkeeping save. Left-footed, back post. That curls a little too much. And we now find ourselves in minute 70. 20 minutes are left. Brooklyn City FC has a 2-goal advantage. And now officially there is a hydration break. And this is certainly where, in this minute of stoppage, of course, if you're ACFC, you want to tweak that midfield. Your front line is doing all it can. Yes, Thompson has been at the top of his game, but in the midfield, too many battles are being lost. In the back line, too many opportunities are being granted to BCFC. That's now 4 chances clean that the Brooklynites had, with the last one finally being denied. Because when we think about all past 3 goals in this match from BCFC, they've come from errors that they've capitalized on. And that was probably the shortest hydration break I've ever seen. Definitely a top 3 in my personal life. Again, ACFC has to fix that middle third. It has to fix that back line. Just a couple of careless slips. The front line has otherwise been superb in spite of those offside calls. It's really put the back line of Brooklyn City FC to the test. Meanwhile, for Brooklyn City FC, it delays just a little bit upon its entry to the field. Oh, and they could play fast if they want to. Technically, the goalkeeper is on the field, and there's nothing that would prohibit them from getting a quick goal here. Early cross, header, took a piece of contact. Thompson gets a save again. And players are complaining, actually the coach, I should say, is complaining to the referee that the players weren't even ready. But all is fair in war and love. And in this case, the players were on the field. The goalkeeper was on the field. It's not illegal to do that. You just don't see it often. The referee had already blown the whistle. It was a dead ball situation. Fortunately for Brooklyn City FC, it didn't result in a 3-2 scoreline right now. As the humid evening now turns into a brisk one. That clearance didn't gain too much distance. BCFC, good awareness, good reaction time to win back the ball with the right foot. I believe that might have been Zavurbek Mamadnazarov. Mamadnazarov, I should say. He entered the game not too long ago, the number 28. Early cross, right-footed, headed away. Taken away once more by Atlantic City FC. He has space down the left-hand side. He does go toward that angle. It's with the captain, Petke. Petke has 3 defenders shutting down that space, including Hugo. You do not expect to see Hugo so dropped back, but here he is playing defense. One-touch cross. He's able to outfox his opponent there. Hugo, he's onside every day of the week. One defender to beat. And that's a strong standing tackle to make sure it's not 4-1. Hugo already has a brace from that. And now Franco. Franco puts it up high. Hugo. Great first touch. He turns it into a pass toward Duran Pepic, who scored the opener. Duran Pepic. He couldn't really glide his way past the right center half. And I think Hugo just signaled for a substitution. We may see that soon. Felix Robinson, able to cut through that middle third like a hot knife through butter. Up into the air it goes. See, even though the front line of BCFC has barely taken a touch, the truth is that it didn't need those many touches. All it needed to make sure was that it was in the right spot each time, specifically with Hugo as the target man. He really is a true number 9 with those finishes today and with those instincts that he had possessed in those 2 goals. Especially the last one, where you thought that the center half had cleanly won it. You turned down your head just for a moment, and then suddenly Hugo picks his pocket and then slams the ball to the back of the net, to the far post, only to the side netting. That was a confident finish. A quarter hour is left here, excluding stoppage time. We may see that minimum of 3 minutes, that is, being added once again. And this would be a meaningful victory for Brooklyn City FC. As we had said, one of 2 teams without a victory at this point. Meanwhile, this is something of a nightmare for Atlantic City FC, losing just 1-0 to Rao Central New Jersey, and now losing 3-1 on the road in an interdivisional match. This would be a grand upset by all accounts. Minute 77 now. As I believe Hugo has finally been replaced. A man of the match worthy performance from him. Not too many touches on the ball, that's true, but he has 2 goals to his name. He has a couple shots to his name as well. His first 2 shots, in fact, ending up as a goal themselves. This one headed toward that back post. It was dangerous. And it's a goal kick. And now the corner kick has been awarded. This one also to be an in-swinger. There's 1 white jersey surrounding the keeper. Now make that 4. This one goes to the back post, but way too high. Way too much curl behind it. And Henry Thompson, pardon my laughter there, celebrating almost sarcastically. Well, he's certainly a personality. You normally have to be when you're in goal. And this is with the substitute, Brooklyn City FC, down the left-hand side. He decelerates. Oh, he makes him go twice. Made him fall for the bait, and it's a free kick for Brooklyn City FC. Arguably the first of its kind for the team in teal. We've seen free kicks from this range for Atlantic City FC multiple times in this match, but none for the home side, who have done the maximum with the minimum. Crossed. Ultimately to nobody. It's a throw-in. Final 12 minutes. And it's a low press from Brooklyn City FC. No counter pressing for now, aside from one midfielder. Apparently he didn't catch the memo. A good first touch by Evan Villaboy. Up into the air. Nicely controlled by the holding midfielder. A little over 10 minutes left. Franco misread the bounce on that ball. He recovers though. He has Thompson to help him out. This is with Granados. Cleared away with the striker. Great touch. Great touch. You have to give him that. Normally you don't see that work so well, and he had a great idea to follow up with it. One more substitution here for Brooklyn City Football Club. The Kings County representatives for now outfoxing the New Jerseyans. Played across. And it's a left-footed lob. Now technically, I don't know if we can label that one as a save or not. I don't think it was going on target. I want to give it to him, but I'm sure he wouldn't mind if I didn't count that. As this one, with Brooklyn City FC, he flicks it up one opponent. Ball still in play. 81st minute. And now Thompson can hold on to this sphere. Well, not for too long, says the referee, as he's able to roll it toward the left-hand side. The new right winger asking for the through pass. Now it's all about composure. Not to mention whether BCFC would want to add on to this 2-goal lead, or if it will be satisfied with just burning some seconds off the clock with those sorts of dribbles. In other words, legal time wasting. When you dribble toward the corner kick flag, you put it in an uncomfortable spot that would only give you more ball possession time, especially if it results in a favorable set piece, such as a corner kick. In this case, it's a in this case, it's a throw-in, not a free kick. As now Atlantic City FC, looking at the left-hand side, able to put it up high and into the gloves of Thompson. And it's poked out of bounds. Less than 8 minutes are left here on the scoreboard. Oof, 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 oof. Oh no. You know, to the naked eye, it did look like that kick made contact with his face. Oh no. I think the center back has a proper case here. It was a kick to the face. Could have been enough for a booking. Not for today, though, says the referee. Big clearance. Now denied. Played across. Now it's all about stalling the offense of Atlantic City. That's exactly what BCFC does. That pass interrupted. I believe that was Nikita who had gotten the piece. Nikita Diok. Pinging that pass. That's a lovely ball. Only for it to end up in Harry Thompson's gloves. Firm hands as well. He almost caught it upon the first contact. You don't want to give the ball away like that. Fortunately for him, he's able to evade 3, albeit with some strength and some finesse. Franco dances inward. This one may go back to Thompson. It does. Thompson looking at that central space. The ball's still loose. And now the referee the referee blows the whistle. Not really clear what the foul was there. Looked like an even challenge, if anything. He was surrounded by 3. Atlantic City FC. Allowing at least 3 goals in a single match for the second time this season. Last time it had done that, it was able to beat Kensington SC with a 4-3 result. As he's offside, he doesn't realize it. Final 5 minutes, plus stoppage time. As eventually the free kick is taken. And we are in final 5-minute territory. And naturally, while we're at this point in regulation time, I'd like to remind you to check out Game and Frame's Instagram and to vote on which was your favorite save, of course, in those Save of the Month candidates for May. Do let us know before tomorrow, 11:59 p.m., tomorrow being June 21st. Make sure you get that in before that time. Comment which save was your favorite and deserves the Salt Athletic Goalkeeper Glove Bag. Known for killing odor-causing bacteria. I'm sure there will be a netminder that would greatly appreciate that. Poked away. Still with Atlantic City FC. He's able to block the clearance with his torso. He has enough range and enough space for a long distance shot. Instead, he crosses it into the air. Bicycle kick, almost 3-2. Man, to try something like that at this time, you got to respect it. You're not going to be given that opportunity too many times. Had that gone in, he surely would have been bragging about it. Now that would have been on film here at Game and Frame. Not the best goal kick. This one ends up kind of short. Because of the backspin, it affected the trajectory of it. ACFC. Unable to really escape that middle third. It finds itself struggling a little bit in that area. Early cross to the left-hand side. Feeds it back into the 18-yard box. You have to clear that away with your first touch. Don't do anything pretty, don't do anything fancy. If you're leading and you're desperately defending, there's no need to put some sprinkles and decoration on it. And a no-nonsense clearance. A good half spin to beat his opponent on the ball. He laterals that pass, 2 lateral passes in a row. Left-footed pass to the left wing where Petke is waiting. The captain unable to muscle his way through. He retreats. It's back with ACFC. 89th minute. He gets past one. And there was a moment of miscommunication. He could have lined himself up for the shot. He went for the selfless play of a delicate through pass. But in the process, results in a goal kick. Second chance here for ACFC. And if we really had a possession rate here in the final 15 minutes or a momentum rate, it would certainly swing in favor of ACFC. As Thompson is able to hold on to the ball. Brooklyn City FC. Good composure on the ball. He's able to escape from one. A 1-2 pass would be ideal here, and it is very ideal. He's onside. He makes it 4-1. It's a super sub moment, and that confirms the victory for the Brooklynites. First victory of the campaign. A little bit of controversy, but certainly a lot of chemistry in that final third. And a picture-perfect moment for the camera. As one more substitution will be in effect. And that has sealed the deal for Brooklyn City FC. '90th minute now. We'll see how much stoppage time will be accounted for. And for the first time this season, Atlantic City FC has allowed 4 goals in a single match. BCFC, one of the lowest scoring teams in the entire conference, has now found 4 against Atlantic City FC, second in the South Division of the Northeast Conference in the League for Clubs. Harry Thompson, one of the protagonists in this match, collapses on the ball. You never want to give away the ball like that. Never. Especially with something silly. This could be 4-2. He's denied. Second chance. Thompson. Not required. It's a shot that goes wide. As Harry Thompson is in no rush to pick himself right back up. 1 minute has gone by officially of stoppage time. It's a well-crafted goal, that last one. And Brooklyn City Football Club, just like that, is able to topple one of the powerhouses of the South Division of the Northeast Conference in the League for Clubs. It's a resounding 4-1 result for the locals, just as resounding as it is astounding. I'm not sure too many would have expected this result. We cannot deny the fact that Atlantic City FC was maybe its worst enemy in that first half, with a couple of mistakes from the back line resulting in those goal-scoring chances. But there is no doubt that Brooklyn City FC just played astutely, especially in the front line. With minimal touches, it was able to deliver a 4-goal performance. It controlled the midfield very well in that first half. And yes, even for the initial portions of the second half, that middle third was once again property of Brooklyn City FC. The back line was surely tested. Yes, with those offside traps, but also with successful challenges. But at the end, Brooklyn City FC does the most with the least. It's an amazing 4-1 result. Hugo with the brace, Pepic with the opener. The last goal itself being sealed right before stoppage time. Atlantic City FC, of course, was able to deny at least a shutout win in favor of Brooklyn City FC with an amazing strike. But it's not enough to really come back in this game. as BCFC finds its first win of the season. So again, do stay tuned for the post-match interviews. However, before we even get to that, I'd like to remind you that there will be more Game and Frame action this weekend, as well as throughout this week, because tomorrow at 5 p.m., the United Premier Soccer League Premier Division sees a semi-final bout in the American South Conference between New Jersey Alliance and Philadelphia Lone Star. Also at 5 p.m. tomorrow, the American Premier Soccer League will see a Delaware River Conference relegation playoff showdown that will determine the survival of Medford Strikers FC and Persepolis United FC. On June 24th, American Soccer Club New York and New York Cosmos partake in an exhibition match at 7 p.m. Likewise, on June 24th, Brooklyn City FC's journey in the League for Clubs continues as it is scheduled to face Susa FC at 7:30 p.m. All these matches will be broadcast right here on Game and Frame, your home for grassroots soccer. Don't go anywhere. We will have post-match action coming to you live. Again, do stay tuned.
Away from Del Pozo, St. Bill, first time cross in, McGregor header! What a save by Granados on the reaction. Got it with the right glove, good direction from McGregor, better save from Granados.
Shot was there for Excelsior, and there it is again. Now did DiStefano. He got a touch on that ball. Great reflexes there from the goalkeeper.
Away, Gotti. Shooting from long range, Bejarano at full stretch rebound. He got a tip as well. Great diving save from Bejarano. He got it with his left paw.
Larkin still with it, gets around Juan Larkin with a cross. Larkin finds a man, and a beautiful save by Edwards.
Chance here. Here's Barone with the ball into the middle, and Emmanuel with a shot and save by the goalkeeper. What a great stretch to cover that goal.
But he plays it in. A dangerous one. Still live here in the box. And eventually saved there by Stefanovic. Stefanovic makes the crucial save. And here's another.
Ball, rise and fall. A diving effort, Papinga denies it once more.
It's sizzling with pace. Duga Dembele onto his left foot. Dembele tipped round the post by Choi. One into the other in the blink of an eye by Osners. And that might have just been cutting in to the top corner.
Berg right into the middle. Now a chance of Zuma. Doesn't get all of it. And sprawling there for the glove save in goal.
And now Union able to gain back possession. Bear takes a shot. Brilliant save from Goodwill. Sends it over the crossbar, and now a corner kick for Union SC.
We'll see if Surf can break through with the attack here. What a save. Excellent work from the Dust goalkeeper, O'Sullivan.
Etienne helped set up the first goal. Etienne, goal line. They got another cutback. Orozco, a great save, getting a cross. And a second, 3 times. This one's blocked. Great defense inside the 6-yard box by Warriors to keep it 1-0. 2 saves there by Orozco, and then a block as well from his back line.
Fun. Crosses it in. And the header comes in, and it's saved. Wow, what a miraculous save there. For the goalkeeper to get down, going the opposite direction, stick a hand out, keep that one out the back of the net.
Fight on through. Harkins was, and that will go back. And a diving effort from Grace Keane. Will parry that wide.
Rather deep, picking the ball up. Bonse's peeled off of his defender. He's onside. First time shot. The keeper had to get a touch on it. What a fingertip save. Eric Warnowski.
Still one, shotgun coming, stopped, Butler misses that opportunity.
Yes.
Yeah, I think 4 shots in total.
3 shots on target, 1 off.
Yeah. So, live here from Brooklyn, New York, Brooklyn City FC and its eponymous borough finds its victory 4-1 against Atlantic City FC. Alongside me first is the skipper, Dickinson. Now, you were involved in a very physical affair. Your left knee was bleeding. In fact, it's bandaged now, so those are good. That's good news. But we want to talk about the nature of this game. What was it like to really feel the atmosphere in this one, especially with such a domineering offense, constantly putting pressure?
Listen, I think when you're playing college players that play for Atlantic City, first of all, great team, good lads. You know, they're all college players. They're all up for it. They're all the same age. It's going to be a physical battle. We just got to match it with them. We have some young kids, some older kids. But yeah, I think maybe we surprised them a little bit. We surprised ourselves a little bit. But yeah, physical battle. Smashed into Harry a little bit. Smashed myself up. But listen, 4-1. Can't complain. First win. Feels brilliant.
Now, that was going to be the following question because, like you said, this is the first win of the overall campaign. What does it feel like to achieve it at this stage of the season, and what are the emotions running through your head now?
Yeah, I mean, I think we can all agree from a team standpoint it's been difficult. You know, it's a brand new team. You know, we played against some good opposition. I think every game we're getting better, training's getting better. We're all a team, we're all a community. But yeah, I mean, it feels good. It feels great. I think we're all going to celebrate in the locker room a little bit. I feel great. I know these two boys feel great. So yeah, I mean, brilliant. Hopefully we move on to Wednesday against Sousa.
Yes, that will help definitely in the inertia with this enormous win, and that one will be an intra-divisional match. So do keep an eye out for that one. That will be here on Game and Frame. Captain, congratulations. Likewise, alongside us, it's the goal scorer. He bagged himself a brace. It's Hugo. Or Hugo, as we had just described earlier.
Any way you like.
Any way we like it here. Now, Hugo, I think what we said on air was that you had done the maximum with the minimum. You weren't given too many chances, but every time you found yourself in a situation, you made them sweat. You punished them. What was the secret to that style today?
I just knew I had to dig us out. Like our team was fighting really hard. Harry came off his line so many times to get the ball. The back line was winning like almost every duel. So I was like, I just have to score these. It was kind of like a survival thing. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
I also want to review perhaps that second goal. It looked like the center half had it cleaned. It was his possession. Suddenly, you picked his pocket. You took it away from him. You slotted it to that side netting. What was it like giving your team that advantage, your second goal, expanding that safety cushion, but also with such an oddity of a goal yourself? Technically unassisted, you did it yourself.
I guess you just kind of got to keep putting pressure on players like in every single moment, especially when you're in their half. I knew that it was going to be really, really tough if they equalized. So I was like, I'm just going to, again, do as much as I can with what I'm given. But yeah, just watching strikers like, Gyökeres, Cavani. I had to mention Big Vic. He just always puts pressure on people. Like, technically he might not be the best, kind of similar to myself, I guess, in a way, but he just always puts pressure on defenders and tries to, make something come off. So try to do that in that moment.
I'm surprised you didn't mention Erling Haaland at that point. We saw that not too long ago.
That's flattering.
No,
yeah, Haaland as well. Haaland as well does that. He does that so well. I mean, against Iraq, he put pressure on the goalkeeper.
And let's not deny the fact that you are basically the epitome of a target man with your stature. I mean, just for comparison here,
large,
right?
I am large.
Yeah, I mean, come on, identical there. But again, congratulations on the brace.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations on the victory. Félicitations.
Thank you. Merci.
Yeah.
Merci.
And of course, last but certainly not least, it's the man responsible for keeping this game in favor of Brooklyn City FC, especially in that first half. Harry, by our unofficial count, we believe you had double-digit saves. What was it like first being the commander of that back line today?
Obviously, I take pride in my communication, and if I can make a big save for the boys, then that gets the team inspired, and I'm just doing my job at the end of the day. So,
I suppose now, of your many saves, was there one in particular today that really stood out for you?
It's sort of a blur, to be honest. I have to go back and watch the film to sort of see what I did, but I think I made a couple of good ones to my left in the first half, and a couple of good claims as well, but got battered a bit by the opposition and my own teammates at times, but it's part of being a goalkeeper, and we got the dub, so that's all I care about.
That's also another subject I wanted to talk about. It was an almost unnaturally physical game from the goalkeeping standpoint. Not too often you get to see, as you had said, the goalkeeper, in this case yourself, being contacted physically so much by the opposition. So what was really required from you in order to get those high claims, in order to cut down those angles?
I'd say the main thing is just bravery. I pride myself in the work that I put in the gym in the off season to be in this position now, and just got to use my frame and just get out for the ball and just hope the ref's on my side.
And I think he clearly was, but to be fair, you earned it. You earned it yourself with such a stellar performance, especially in that first half. I can't give you enough flowers for that performance. And I believe there was really just one more thing I wanted to ask you, and it's, how do you really feel about this performance as a whole? You yourself, you're playing humble. Come on, you can let it out now.
I feel good, but obviously we've got a losing season so far, so our goal is to try and turn it around as a team, and if I can play my part in doing that, then I'll do that. So but I really enjoyed it.
And with a performance like today, that can certainly switch over the momentum in favor of Brooklyn City FC. So Harry Thompson, congratulations.
Thank you.
Excellent job in goal. And of course, behind the camera, we have had a duo today, Nicholas Marshall and Mert Chachioglu. I have been Sean Cabrera, and thank you so much for tuning into this transmission of the League for Clubs right here on Game in Frame. We'll be seeing you soon. Ciao, ciao for now.